You open the fridge, there's nothing there. So what's it gonna be? Greasy pizza? Sad drive-thru burgers? Dish by Blue Apron is for nights like that. These are the pre-made meals of your dreams. At least 20 grams of protein, no artificial flavors or colors, no chopping, no cleanup, no guilt. Keep the flavor, ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
All right, Tom, how are you doing?
Yeah, lovely. Especially after that.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it? So we should say this is a podcast, so people can't see it, but you've got a really dodgy mustache. Really dodgy.
Well, it's the season, but yeah, because I actually grew one during November, and I thought, it looks okay. But the thing is, I have it has a very ginger element to it, despite my hair not being ginger. A bit like Lionel Messi, and I think that's where
the gene's in there somewhere.
Yeah. My left foot is equally as devastating.
Sweet. I've heard.
Yeah, devastatingly terrible. But it's equally as devastating.
I tell you whose left foot's pretty good. Anthony's. That was a sweet finish, wasn't it? Oh, first time, passed it into the corner. Yeah, I feel like he's been much maligned, actually, Anthony. I mean, he's obviously been out injured. I don't think his performances were that bad. I mean, I think we expressed some frustrations with him that perhaps he wasn't the finished article, which he's clearly not still. Mm-hmm. But there seems to be a prevailing narrative that he's terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that's come from. But anyway, that was sweet as that finish. And it was a finish that was fitting for the occasion of a last 32 Europa playoff losers final, whatever we want to call it.
It is easy to get swept up in the moment, isn't it? Because going back, like seeing the draw today, because we're recording the day after here, and seeing some of the teams that United could get lined up with, it kind of brings you back down to earth, really. Seeing, we might get Fenerbahce, we might get Ferencvaros in the next round. Like this, it felt like a huge moment, and I was watching like the highlights again this morning, and especially like after the final whistle, and United fans are going wild and everything, and you do kind of stop to think that this is a last 32 of the Europa League.
I know,
and it's great to get swept up in the moment, but just looking at the rest of the Europa League draw here, it's kind of like, okay, there's a long way to go in this competition, and there's a lot of rubbish to beat.
There's a lot of rubbish.
Lot of respect. There is a lot of rubbish in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we have to pay them that much respect, but lots of crap. It could be another 7 games to win this tournament, and the final's in Budapest, I think.
Yes.
So there's a lot. I mean, Betis in the next round, they're doing okay in La Liga. They are a dirty team, and so I think that's. I mean, we'll go into this in more detail later, I guess. So that would be the worry that they're going to kick the crap out of us. So very physical. Barcelona are not, but look, it was quality enough for a Champions League game for sure. United versus Barcelona of 2 legs, great entertainment, both games, and United just edged it. I mean, 4-3 would say it was close. I mean, I thought, like, on the balance of the amount of chances created over the 2 games, United well worthy winners. So. I mean, Barcelona created 100%. Hardly anything last night. Hardly anything. I mean, the penalty, there's the one that Lewandowski probably could have scored right at the end for unblocked. But what else? Not much.
There was the one, it wasn't really, it wouldn't be counted on XG, but when De Gea gave it away just before half time, Sergio Roberto. Yeah. But again, like well, 2 of their 3 big chances that you just described there are of our own doing. Like the Bruno foul was, I think, soft, but completely needless. And then obviously De Gea giving the ball to them at that moment as well. You're thinking a very experienced player here in De Gea, who's been obviously the longest serving United player out there. A minute before half time, after we've had a pretty much a dreadful half. One of the worst halves I remember us actually playing in recent times. Like, come on, mate, just clear that, get into the dressing room at 0-0, at 1-0 down, then regroup. That really could have changed the game, to be honest.
Oh God, it could have.
But
I mean, the weird thing with that one was that, I mean, they're obviously trying to play out, and De Gea's not comfortable with it, especially when he's under pressure. He's okay when he's not under pressure, but he doesn't always pick the simple sort of pass out to the fullback. But the weird thing about that one was he panicked and he just passed it straight out to where 3 Barcelona players. There wasn't a United player within like 20 yards of where it went.
no, it was bizarre. And yeah, Casemiro bailed us out of there, thankfully. I think they maneuvered to not really even create a shot from that first move. Like, so Casemiro even blocked it before they even got the shot away. But yeah, that would have, I mean, I said they would have changed the tie. Could I have seen us coming back from that? Yes, but it would have been mightily difficult because it didn't look at that point as well like we were really creating anything, and it all changed at half time, thankfully. And Ten Hag is great at that, changing things from the bench.
I mean, I remember, I'd have to go back and listen, but I remember thinking early in the season that I wasn't quite sure that he was getting the substitutes right, and that a lot of it was like for like, and it felt a bit Ollie-like. Yeah. You know how Ollie wouldn't change things and then you just change like for like, and you're like, well, you're really changing the game here. Mm-hmm. But that's clearly not the case now. No. I mean, he's talked about it. He's talked about changing things so the defense has a different question to ask. They get too comfortable playing one way. Let's give them something else to think about, sort of thing. That wasn't the case last night. It was just United. It wasn't working, right? It wasn't working through Sancho at number 10, and they just clearly needed to up the intensity and change things around. And he just, like, how many coaches are of his level of picking what is happening in the game out, finding a solution to it and executing it? And he just seems to do it all of the time now.
Yeah, that is such a huge quality to have as well. So not just be able to spot how to change the game, but also having the presence of mind to be able to do it, to carry out that execution in the game. Because we've all seen like the tactics bloggers and stuff be able to just to kind of pinpoint what's going wrong in the game. But it's a different situation when you're the man on the sideline. You have to carry out that execution, and you have to execute a perfectly well-versed halftime team talk as well, which he does so often. I think the criticism maybe you could label at him is don't start the game in that way. I guess like it was a bold. I'm not criticizing, but I'm just saying it was a bold move to play Sancho in that 10 role where we've seen him a couple of times and he's done well, but against Barcelona it's a different proposition. Also to play Weghorst, I said on the podcast last week, I was like, I couldn't understand why he would play Weghorst next week, especially when Anthony's on the bench. I guess maybe Anthony couldn't play 90, but I would have played Sabitzer and played Rashford as a 9, and nothing was working in that first half. And you could criticise him, I guess, a little bit for that, but the way he reacts in games is phenomenal, and it's obviously something that Ollie could not do whatsoever. And Ten Hag is just so damn good at it.
Yeah, he's proven himself to be completely transformational in 7 months at the club. And I mean, it's fair. He hasn't won the silverware yet with United, that is. And obviously it's a step up in terms of quality and size of task and quality of player from Ajax to United. And so it maybe is premature, but he's proving himself to be one of the elite coaches. I mean, it's what it feels like we're on that path now. Maybe that's premature, but
it does.
Understanding what's happening in the game, making the changes, changing the game state as a result. And that's very Pep-like.
Yeah,
Pep has his aneurysms now and again and picks a 2, 6, 1, 2, whatever telephone number of a formation, but he always seems to get it. Almost always gets it right in terms of like understanding what's happening in the game and trying to make the changes to win the game. And Ten Hag does seem to have that quality.
Yeah, and what I like about him as well is that he's not wedded to one style of play. That maybe become more of a thing as we create more of an identity. But I'm hoping that our identity comes in the form of 2 or 3 different styles of play rather than just one style. And it was kind of the case yesterday. Is in the second half we were so much more direct. Like Anthony running in behind, Rashford when he went as a 9 running in behind, Fred running in behind the lines of the midfield. Like, we were able to change the game plan. And I thought when we were hiring Ten Hag that we were hiring this dogmatic Dutch coach, a little bit like Van Gaal in a way, or Dutch coaches that have come and gone in the Premier League, like De Boer or something. I remember very specifically Miguel Delaney replying to a tweet after the Brentford game where someone said, "This reminds me of De Boer," and he said, "I can't help but think about it." And that stuck. It came out in my mind so much yesterday, thinking about how much everyone slagged Ten Hag off after those first 2 games, and we were all nervous, of course. But you see, like last night, he's so much more than just wedded to one style of play, and that is such a benefit. I think Ancelotti also came out, I don't know if it was this week or recently, saying, I'm not wedded to a style of play, and that's one of my strengths. And there's a lot of things you can criticize Ancelotti for, but he's so successful at what he does. And
he's won quite a few Champions Leagues with that.
Yeah, I'm not saying Ten Hag's the same, but I just like how he's pragmatic with his formations.
Yeah,
and styles.
United are playing good football, but you're right, he is definitely a pragmatist. I mean, I have to say myself, tongue in cheek, I think I called one of the early podcasts of the season there at 10 games because, I mean,
it felt like it.
It felt like it. I mean, not that I'd have any comment on his quality as a coach at that point, because like it's really hard to say from afar, looking at not watching the Dutch league every week and not really understanding him as a coach at that point. But with Ronaldo at the club, knowing what kind of stink he might create, suspecting that was going to happen, the pressure, not sure how the players would bed in. I don't think we'd signed Casemiro at that point, or he certainly hadn't played, had he? It felt bad, even at the early point in the season. And 6 months on from then, completely transformed. This is not a perfect United side, but it's definitely going places. And you just really trust that he has an idea of what he wants to get to, and you hope either the Glazers or whoever the new owners are on the same page there. We'll find out about that later. But we're going places. Anyway, I guess we should talk about the first half, because it was pretty dreadful, wasn't it? And
it was.
I mean, soft pen. I mean, it was soft, but obviously, don't pull someone back when they're running away from goals.
Yeah,
just dumb, so dumb. And then Lewandowski did his best to miss it. They've nearly got there. He's got 180 clean sheets or something. How many penalties he saved? 3 or something. So
it's so weird as well. I think I said on the pod before that what impresses me so much about De Gea is that he always gets big hands to saves, and he got a big hand to the penalty, but in this scenario, for whatever reason, he wasn't able to save it. It's really weird that a shot stopper that good can be so bad at saving penalties. Bizarre.
His reflexes are great. He should just stand still, watch the ball, and see where it's going.
Yeah.
I mean, if he did that, he would save 15% of penalties, so they go straight down the middle or whatever it is, something like that.
Yeah. Never do that, do they?
They don't. I remember looking at this before. I think there's a Twitter handle that looks at all penalty stats, and it's something like 5% are just rolled along the ground in the middle. Like, no one is brave enough. Hardly anyone's brave enough to do that. Because you're just going to look like a total idiot. Anyway, really poor. Just United were not fluid at all, giving the ball away constantly. Not that Barcelona had a load of chances. I mean, they had that, obviously the De Gea kick out. That was the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much the last minutes of the first half.
Yeah, but just the atmosphere felt flat as well. So, I know there was a bit of noise before the game, but it's kind of, it's not happening kind of vibe to it.
It did feel like that, because it started off raucous, and then as the game went along, I guess that's credit to Barcelona for dampening the crowd, but it just felt they were playing really well, I thought, as well. Like, on the ball, they were good. Maybe United weren't pressing with the intensity. We weren't playing with intensity. I think Ten Hag said his mantra was like belief before the game, and it didn't feel like we truly did believe in that first half. And also, Weghorst was terrible. I'm not saying like the whole performance was down to Weghorst, but I think he completed 2 passes in that first half, gave the ball away a lot, wasn't really doing anything. He presses like a cart horse. And bringing someone on like Anthony, and we've spoken about his inconsistencies, but he has so much going for him. One thing being pace and directness at times when he
it's very direct,
yeah. And like I said, like there was balls that we could just put over the top, and he changed the game. Well, Ten Hag changed the game, but Anthony was obviously a part of that.
Yeah.
And not having a Weghorst as well in the second half. I just don't understand why he started Weghorst. Like I said last week, it didn't. He could just play Sabitzer as a 10 if he wanted to, and then play Rashford. But just in that first half, we weren't running in behind in any respect. Barca was still playing high, the high line that we spoke about, but there was no one running in behind. So it was like, I don't understand really the tactic here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to play Weghorst, you have to make sure that you do get those runners, and you've got to believe that he's going to be able to control turn, play people in. I mean, Ten Hag has talked about how important he is in the build-up. Not sure I entirely see it, but hey, Ten Hag is proving right in most things. So yeah, you did him a disservice, by the way, Weghorst. He made 3 passes.
Oh, was it 3? I'm very sorry.
3.
Wow. That's like 33% of his passes that I missed there. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, that's right. 3 out of 7. 43% pass completion rate.
Just the fact that he's only attempted 7 passes is pretty poor. That's like Haaland levels, but at least like Haaland's going to get you a goal, maybe.
Yeah, Wout doesn't look like he's going to be a world beater on the goals front, and maybe something will click, and then he'll. No.
In that kind of game, it's like, what is that man doing really? Like he's
really... That's right. Yeah,
he's not really
especially
there
with
for
Barca
anything.
playing a high line, and it just showed the second half. You're right. United were quite happy to, not like they were hoofing it up.
No.
They're happy to move the ball from back to front very quickly, and to find those passes into channels for Anthony, who more than once got beyond Balde. I think ran the wrong side of him, and sort of for Rashford. Rashford didn't have his best game, I'd say.
No,
but it's good that United can win without Rashford scoring the goals.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a weird day for Rashford, really. It was like everything that's been coming off for him pretty much week in, week out just wasn't quite today. Like, well, I think they marshaled him fairly well. Like, there was a lot of times where he was cutting in, and usually he was just beating men with ease. And he did do a few nice things. It was just one of those days for him. And then obviously the injury he picked up towards the end, there was highlighted today in the press conference that it could be, well, not rule him out, but that they haven't said that he's definitely going to be fine. Yeah.
Was there a clarification of what part of his foot it is? Because he was hobbling away after the game.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he got the knock, and it looked like he'd carried on for a bit, and then he came off. So I'm going to assume it's not like his ankle or some kind of ligament problem in his ankle. Otherwise, there's no way he'd be carrying on. Maybe it's just a bruise on the top of the foot or something like that. We'll see. I mean, they'll do everything to get him fit, clearly.
Yeah, and also he's a man who, as we've known to his detriment in many months and years gone by, that he does play with injuries. And I think that, like I say, that has been to his detriment in previous times. But I think for Sunday, he will do all he can to play. And hopefully, I mean, the games don't get that much easier actually after the Carling Cup final, but hopefully we can find a bit of time to rest, though the games just come thick and fast, don't they?
I mean, there's just so many of them.
I was hoping for Ferencváros in the next round because there would be just an easy, like, nice little win, but Betis is tough, and it's going to be another 2 tough games to add to the schedule.
Yeah. A word for some of the standout players for United, Varane and Martinez. Just so good. Just Varane pumping his fist at the end of the game. Lisandro Martinez stayed until midnight after the game, taking pictures, signing autographs and stuff. I mean, those two, phenomenal. Casemiro, him and Varane celebrating afterwards. There was a bit of Real Madrid Barca niggle in that one, wasn't there?
Absolutely.
You could feel it. Garnacho apparently making fun of Pedri. I didn't quite understand the goggles thing he was doing, but
I think Pedri did it, didn't he? Was
right, okay.
Yeah, and Garnacho is from Madrid, so is he a Madrid fan? I guess
he was at Atletico's academy, right?
Yeah.
Where we pinched him from. Yeah.
I think all the players you mentioned there, I think Garnacho included, they're all winners, aren't they? Like Garnacho's got that kind of winning mentality about him, despite obviously not having won stuff. Like Martinez is just, it's just something else. And then Varane and Casemiro have been there and done it all. Like those, I think the three, and Garnacho being a little bit of a different one, but those three in particular are just, they had so much personality to this team. Like, because you look at teams previous of United, I never felt a lot of them had that winning mentality. Like, despite someone like Pogba winning the World Cup, like having Lukaku, a few lads from the academy, it didn't feel like we ever had that winning mentality. Harry Maguire.
A lot of discussion about lack of leadership, wasn't there? And
there was.
Certainly lack of responsibility.
100%. And like, it's just kind of evidenced in the fact that we went 1-0 down last night, played terribly in the first half, but the belief's still there. The calmness to, we can sort this out. We can, we're not just going to lie down and take a 3-0 defeat that previous teams would have done. We've got the belief in ourselves to go out there and do it second half. And the character of the team that we've spoken about so much is a lot down to Ten Hag, but a lot of down to just the individuals that we have in this team, which we do have a lot of winners, which is great.
Yeah, he talked about it afterwards. He talked about we have a lot of leaders, a lot of characters, I think he might have said. So, I mean, obviously it really helps getting the goals straight away after half-time. Fred shinning one in with his right foot.
Yeah. I thought Fred was great again in that second half.
He was really good. Yeah. So Ten Hag's asked him to make those third-man runs, run beyond the ball.
Yeah.
And that forward run was where he got the goal from, following up. He wouldn't have done that if he was being asked, and probably wouldn't have done that under previous management, but he wouldn't have done that if he was being asked to just be a double pivot. So they trust Casemiro to do the defensive stuff, and Fred's got a freer role there. As long as he's just not on the ball loads. If he's doing that and getting into good positions, he actually is not a bad finisher, is he?
No, and he's good at, he's not great at passing, but he's great at taking the ball forward. Like, he's good at running with the ball and being direct with it. There's a couple of occasions down the left where he's beating men like he's a little bit of like a winger, and that's actually quite an underrated skill, but also quite a lesser seen skill in centre midfielders who are able to take the ball forward. Frankie de Jong, as we saw in both games, is great at that. And he would be the perfect person to sit by Casemiro.
Wouldn't he?
Because he's got...
Has anyone thought at United whether he'd be like maybe interested in joining?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the scouts need to get onto that, see if it's a possibility. Because like, he's got all the ability of Fred to take the ball forward, but also all the softness of touch, like Eriksen. It's like the combination of two, and he's like perfect. Yes. Put an inquiry and see if Barcelona
progressive ball carrying is great. Frankie de Jong.
Really?
He would be a. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we can't do that one. The other one who takes the ball, carries the ball a lot is Bellingham. Different profile of player, but a good. You'd think a good blend with Casemiro. Anyway, De Jong was very good last night. I thought, especially in that first half where he was very, very dominant. And so
I thought Busquets for them as well was a huge. Because I didn't think that he would still had the ability to play to that level, but in the first half I thought he was immense, and I thought he was a kind of a difference maker really in that half. Just the way that he, like, it's almost like a silk glove of a foot that he can just pass with such instantaneous movement to just get out of trouble is such a huge skill. It's like to say, what is he, 36? He can still do that. It was kind of a pleasure to watch, despite how annoying it was.
Well, Barcelona have been desperate to get rid of him, haven't they? Because of his high wages. I think he's out of contract in the summer, and they almost certainly won't renew it because they're still trying to manage their wage budget, which will be fatter in the summer than it has been, but not completely, because their revenues are quite a lot down because they've sold off all their revenues, basically.
Yes.
So, but I mean, it definitely was worrying, and Araujo at the back was like comfortable and dealing with anything for United. He's a very good player, obviously, very good player. I mean, he played in the centre. He played on right back in the first game, which was really weird, back to his normal position mostly. And I mean, they just look very comfortable. And then Fred comes out, scores the goal. I thought the Garnacho sub helped as well. Just very, very direct, really pushing for it.
Yeah.
So he was involved in the winner actually, wasn't he, Garnacho? He was involved in the build up there.
Had the shot that got blocked, and that's
Yeah.
that's obviously one of the limitations of Sancho, which has been widely discussed, that he's not that direct. He obviously can bring a lot to the game, like he was involved in the first goal pass into Bruno, and then Bruno passed it into Fred. But yeah, when the game was clearly calling out for more directness, just because they just couldn't deal with it, and then we had it all of a sudden in all three positions of the front three, with Garnacho being there as well. It was, even after we went 2-1 up, he was just causing so many different problems. And yeah, he's super raw, but man, yeah, he's super excited. I think they both are, that those two wingers, like Anthony, like he said at the start, he gets a lot of criticism because of his inconsistency. But I think there's a certain patience you've got to have with those types of players, because they are so direct. They're going to give the ball away so much, aren't they? And they are going to be frustrating if they. But that's the braveness that comes with and the courageousness that comes with playing that type of role. That having the kind of tenacity to go, okay, I've lost the ball last time, but I'm going to go for it again and try and get past him again, because that's what my team need. And that requires and I guess, as Ten Hag said, it requires character, and those two have it in abundance. Loads and loads of self-belief.
Yeah, and he's got 6 goals for us now, Anthony, which is not a bad return so far this season. He might get double figures this season. That would be more than he's ever got before, I think. So he's and just like the technique is there, the pace maybe isn't, which is interesting.
Yeah,
but I think if he starts making the right decisions in the final third, where he really need him to make the right decisions, then he's going to be a phenomenal player. I mean, the quality just to kind of stroke that first time with the ball rising, it's just a fabulous finish. And
you, like, I know we've spoken about his age, that he's not 19, he's a little bit older, but you think to someone like Salah. Like, Salah didn't really kind of reach his peak till he was 24, 25 or something.
Right.
And that was kind of going into because he was good at Roma, but he wasn't the levels that he was at Liverpool. And it's kind of, you think that going into the league that he's in now under a great coach who clearly can get the best out of players, we could really see him rise to levels that many didn't expect. Because who would have ever, like, I'm not saying just Salah, but say Sadio Mane, like, two great examples at Liverpool, who, like, they had a lot of talent before, but they went to levels that no one really expected them to go to.
Yeah, that's right. He'll get to showcase it at Real Betis in the next round. And it'd be interesting thinking about, unless you got more to say about last night's game, but thinking ahead to Sunday's game, be interesting to see whether he starts or not, Anthony, whether Ten Hag thinks he's fit enough yet coming back from that injury, because he is very direct. Be interesting, the kind of game, I mean, they're kind of niggly, Newcastle. They break up the game a lot. I think Ten Hag said in the press conference today that their games average the least amount of minutes of ball in play in the Premier League. And it's about right. Tactical fouling, slowing stuff down, spoiling the game. They're Atletico without the talent, as someone said on Twitter. Yeah.
New Atletico.
And yeah. New Atletico. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
About as bad as Matash.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting. But look, the other thing to think about, now United got 19 goals from substitutes this season, is this idea that, sure, you want your best players on the pitch, but sometimes having your best players on the pitch in the last 20 minutes when the opposition is tired is the best time to have your best players on the pitch. Yeah. And that's a perfectly legitimate way of thinking.
Yeah, and I was thinking this last night, that I don't think this was the case, but I was thinking, say Ten Hag wanted to play that style of football in the first half and then wanted to play a really direct style of football in the second half, that tactic would work superbly well, because the team that you're playing against will have no idea that you're going to come out in the second half playing a completely different style of football, and they're going to be so taken aback by it. Like, the manager's going to have to react straight away on the pitch. Like, players are going to have to get instructions and try and work out what's going on the pitch themselves in a lot of cases. And that is something that I don't know if it's like in that game last night. I don't think at all it was the idea to play that one style of football and first half was play a different style of football in the second half. But the way that we are able to adapt and do that to teams makes us so dangerous that we can just switch it halfway through a half and just play a different style of football, and it completely bamboozles teams. Like in a similar way to what we did against Leeds when we were really quite struggling to get a foothold in that second half. We just switched it up and played Sancho off the left in a different style to way Garnacho was playing before that. And it's such a strength that we have these different types of players in the different types of positions that we do have, because there's not many, like you look at the players who play in different types of positions across the front three. So many of those players are different types, which is different to, I guess, a lot of teams where you kind of bring in a player and it's got like for like. But yeah, we have so many different types of qualities, which is actually probably a case that a bad thing that was inherited from our wild and speculative transfer policy, but it's actually almost like a benefit in some regards.
Let's not start giving Edward Wood credit. He'll make a comeback or something awful like that.
But yeah, by his disaster,
there's variety in the squad. Yeah,
Ten Hag turned like a disaster into a bit of a positive in some respects, I think. But yeah, it would be nice if we had a coherent transfer strategy as well.
Moving on to Sunday, then. Can't pick what the team's going to be. It's a really hard one to work it out. I mean, once again, I'd probably say, hey, I probably wouldn't select Wout Weghorst, but he selected every single game. So, like, clearly, he's probably going to play. Newcastle gone off the boil a little bit, which is good, isn't it? And the thing that's really kept them going this season has been their defence. They've just been really, really tight, and they didn't look that secure against Liverpool, did they?
No.
And it was kind of interesting that few injuries. Joe Linton's injured. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Willock's injured. They've both been playing in midfield. Might have upset the balance a little bit. And of course, the big one is Pope being out. And it's not just from the fact that he's a good goalkeeper, but he's also very important in their build-up play. He's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. And I don't think loves to time waste. They're very, very good at time wasting and ruining games. Loris Karius, on the other hand, not so comfortable with the ball at his feet. So we might have seen in his hands.
Or in his hands, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, man. Ian Ladyman in the Mail on Sunday, Daily Mail wrote this opinion piece saying, you wouldn't be human if you didn't wish Karius well. I'm like, he was in City's academy and then played for Liverpool and is now playing for Saudi FC. I wish all the misery in the world on him. Professional misery. Professional misery.
Oh, God. I mean, there was part of me delighted to see that he was the backup goalkeeper, but then there's just that fear with when a story appears that you're like, oh man, he's not going to be the saviour, is he? Because that would just be
he's going to have an absolute worldie, isn't he?
It goes against all logical sense for him to have a worldie because he's not played a competitive game in I think he played 45 minutes against a Saudi team in a friendly for them about 3 or 4 months ago. I didn't even know he was there actually until Pope got sent off the other day. Yeah, but
in by the way, one of the most hilarious sendings off.
Oh my God!
And then for many a year, it was great.
Gary Lineker coming out on Match of the Day saying that he should
let him play.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, they have gone off the boil recently, haven't they? But Bruno Guimaraes, I think, was the big reason for that. Obviously, he got sent off in the semi-final, second leg, and missed 3 games. So that was huge, and they've obviously got him back, unfortunately, for Sunday. It's going to be tough. I don't know what side is our best one. I think our best side is a team without Wout Weghorst in it, but that's my opinion. And a man much smarter than me probably disagrees with that in Ten Hag. So I'm not going to be screaming at the TV if I'd see Wout Weghorst is starting, but I will be thinking in my head, why? I think it would just, it makes sense in my head to play Sancho on the left and Anthony on the right, and then Rashford through the middle. But like you say, is Anthony going to be fit enough for that? He didn't look like a man who'd been injured last night in any respect. But obviously, it's a little bit different going from that Thursday to the Sunday. And we're obviously hoping that Rashford's going to be fit enough. And yeah, it's interesting that Sabitzer didn't get on last night. Maybe that means he's not that trusted by Ten Hag. I don't know. That's just a theory I'm thinking, but it's interesting, and I guess maybe he's not going to start on Sunday either, or he was saving him for Sunday, but I don't think he would.
Yeah, it's interesting though with Sabitzer. Yeah, I mean, he obviously tried to perform a knee operation on Wout Weiss at Leicester the other day with his studs, which was I think I maybe gave him too much credit in last week's pod. Said he tried to pull out. You watch it again, it's like maybe it's not great. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you lean towards Fred because he had a good game last night, and I expect United will have more of the ball than they did against Barcelona. And that Newcastle do play quite a deep defensive line. I mean, neither Botman or Shah are particularly quick. I mean, both good defenders. Botman's had an excellent season. He's a good player, but he's not super quick. And so they do play a slightly deeper line. United have a lot of the ball. Probably you want someone breaking ahead of it then in that case, which Sabitzer won't do in the same way as Fred would. So maybe that leads towards him. Like Rashford won't have the same space behind for sure. But then again, Weghorst playing up there or at number 10 or wherever he plays, he's just going to come across like they're going to love playing against him. He's not going to cause them any problems, is he?
No. So in the same respect, I said last Thursday that I don't see why you would play without Weghorst. Maybe ever, but definitely not against Barcelona. I don't see why you would play him on Sunday either, because it's not like we haven't got any options now. And I think even if you do play like Sabitzer as a 10, which I don't think he'd be that great at, but he's better on the ball and he's got better balance. Like he's weirdly stronger because he has better balance. And he's not the best player in the world, but I've been quietly impressed by what I've seen so far from Sabitzer, to be fair. And I like what I've seen. I also think that he'd be probably a decent £20 million option as a squad player from what we've seen so far. He's tenacious. He's got a great range of passing, great ball to Shaw for that goal against Leeds. And I think he's cleaner in possession as well. He's certainly cleaner,
definitely cleaner in possession
than Fred as well. Yeah. So like, I like what I've seen. So I would maybe lean towards him ahead of Fred because of his cleanliness on the ball if we're going to have a lot of possession. But obviously Fred's played probably 3 excellent games. I think did he get man of the match on Sunday, or was that the week before?
He did. Yeah. Maybe the week before.
But he's obviously been in great form, so you can't begrudge him to start.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I guess that's one decision. Weghorst is one decision. Like, how do you get Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho, Rashford, Weghorst, and Bruno all into the team? You don't. So, I guess Garnacho will be on the bench as an impact player. If Weghorst plays and Anthony plays, Sancho doesn't, basically. So, and Bruno moves back into the centre. So that's the other decision. And then right back to the other one. I mean, he brought Dalot on after about an hour last night, I guess just because he's just a bit more like... He's willing to push forward just a bit more. Not that his numbers really show that he's particularly like adding lots of assists and ball progression this season, but he at least has that instinct. So that'll be an interesting discussion, especially against Dan Burn, who isn't exactly going to be charging forward down the left-hand side. It's a interesting question. I mean, the other kind of reason for playing Anthony, of course, he's very good defensively. Yeah. Trippier is having an excellent season and really does put in gets into the right positions, put a lot of ball in, supporting Shaw in the defensive side of things. Actually, I'm not supporting Shaw, supporting Dalot in the defensive side, or Wan-Bissaka in the defensive side of things might be important.
Yeah, and I think that's what Garnacho did. Maybe terribly is the wrong word, but he did poorly last night. Like he almost looked like he burned himself out quite early last night. I mean, I don't know if that clobber to the face from Busquets upset him a little bit, but his work getting back was quite poor for a man who came on with half an hour to go, and that's just something that he really does lack at the moment. And I guess it's kind of understandable with someone so young, but it was a little bit frustrating. I remember there was one particular ball that went out to their right back at one point. I can't remember who. It might not have been their right back, but whoever was on the right hand side. And the ball I thought was going out of play because Garnacho was kind of just ambling backwards, but he got it and then put a cross in almost unchallenged. I was like, "What are you doing, Garnacho?" And I think, for a game like this, I can't see Ten Hag taking that defensive risk really. And he's also just a great option to have off the bench at this stage in his career. Like he's super direct and super effective. And with half an hour to go, the last thing you want as a defender is probably, I know that's such a cliche, I'm really sorry, but it's true. The last thing you want is some young, ferocious, tenacious lad to come on and burn you on the outside.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Dan
Has he signed that contract yet? There were some reports that it's almost agreed.
Close, I think, isn't it? Well, that's what they say.
Yeah. Not going to believe it until Richard Arnold's out there with his big shit-eating grin and a contract and a pen. So, yeah. Yeah, sign him up quickly, please. Thank you.
Please. And Rashford. But that might stop Rashford's amazing form. Is that partly to do with the contract?
Yeah, let's wait till the end of the season.
Yes, please,
yeah. It's interesting that the narrative around Rashford's contract's completely changed from 6 months ago. Yeah, they might have been like, well, we've shown you a lot of loyalty. Let's... But now he's rightly going to be able to demand some very big numbers. Or there'll be interest from the parties that have expressed interest before, Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain. There's no secret about that. Paris Saint-Germain sporting director spoke about it. So, yeah. All right. You got predictions for Sunday?
There's a part, and I'm mates with a couple of Geordies, and I'm really nervous about this game. I hate Newcastle.
Jimmy Five Bellies.
It's not him, no.
Did they ever wear shirts in Geordie land?
No.
Ever?
No, I've never.
They just don't sell shirts, do they?
No. That's the policy at school as well. Like the school uniform is shirtless, so it's just kind of the thing that happens up there. I think we'll win. I think on Sunday when I see the teams and realise how much better we are than them, and how much belief this team has at the moment, and how much of a winning mentality these guys have. I think we'll win 2 or 3-0. I think we'll blow them away.
Oh. No one ever blows Newcastle away, but I mean, the Liverpool win the other week was probably the most comfortable victory I've seen against them. They've only lost twice in the league.
And Liverpool are rubbish.
Yeah,
I know,
rubbish.
like they got a man.
They almost had us convinced they were back for a second.
They
did.
Didn't
they?
Like, and Liverpool and Newcastle obviously have that man sent off, but they were 2-0 down when they had that man sent off. Like Liverpool are rubbish, and they beat Newcastle away from home. Like Newcastle are very good defensively. They've got some threats going forward, but in my opinion, this is going to come back to hurt me, isn't it? I'm just thinking when I just heard myself saying that, then I was like, God, you're going to sound like such a twat if we lose this. But they're riding momentum rather than riding quality so far, and I think a team like United, who are also going forward with a lot of momentum, we also have the quality to go and beat Newcastle on Sunday. I think.
So what you're saying is Newcastle are rubbish. We're going to blow them away. We want to see some Geordie kids, shirtless Geordie kids, crying.
Absolutely.
At the end of the match. Yeah.
Nothing will make me happier, actually.
Oh, children crying is magnificent, isn't it? At football.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we win. I have to say I'm not that confident about how the margin of victory. They're just so tight. They've conceded 15 goals in the league this season. They just don't concede many.
It's true.
And Pope being out may be a big difference. I mean, he really is a real sense of security there. We'll see. I mean, I don't want to be cruel, but I do. Just stick in a few crosses early doors to see if Karius can deal with it. Just make him do something. Let's see how he's going to be nervous.
Oh, 100%.
He's going to be nervous.
100%. He's like I say, he's not played football in 2.5 years. Like you can say anything you want to the man, but once he gets out on that pitch and there's 90,000 people there, he's going to be thinking of where was it? Where he dropped those clangers for Liverpool?
Istanbul, was it?
Maybe
no. No, I can't remember.
Kiev?
Was it in Kiev? God,
I don't really. Well, he's
Really
going
don't
to be
remember.
he's going to be thinking about that final, 100%.
He is, and he's not played a lot of football.
No.
I mean, he played a few games at Union Berlin last season, but before that, it was when he was at Besiktas. So it's he's not played a lot of football, and it's a big cup final, and everyone's talking about him.
As every Sunday League manager would say when they realise that the other team's goalkeeper hasn't turned up, test him early. And that's what it feels like a little bit on Sunday, like the goalkeeper's not turned up when you've had to put Loris Karius in goal. Oh, God, I'm saying stuff that's going to come back to haunt me. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, on the Talk of the Devils podcast, Andy Misson joked that we were going to get beaten by Betis in the next round. That was before the draw had taken place.
Wow.
Absolutely jinxed it, Misson.
Yeah.
Disgusting stuff, and you should apologise right now.
It's such a ridiculous notion, jinxing, but it just feels like it's just a thing that 100% exists.
Look, someone will have got a grant, some research university somewhere, to have done a paper on jinxing.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, let's not jinx it anymore. We're going to win. Enjoy it. Everyone's going. I'm not going it. I'm going to be on a plane. This is like, of all the matches and of all the weeks, I just did not plan it through when I bought the tickets.
Do they have Wi-Fi on the plane?
They do, yeah. And I will be on the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Some of it's really good on some planes. Yeah. I don't know about the transatlantic ones, but
be a story to tell. You could say where you were when United won, flying over Greenland.
No, I'd much rather been at Wembley.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah. Probably better than flying over Greenland. No offense to any people from Greenland listening.
A flying tin can filled with explosives. It's basically what a plane is.
Yeah, I don't think about that when you're on there, though.
50 tons of fuel and 2 millimeters of aluminium. Anyway, everyone who's going, enjoy it. It was really good atmosphere at Old Trafford last night, eventually. And I'm sure it'll be a great atmosphere at Wembley because Newcastle haven't been in the final for donkey's years. I don't think since we beat them in 99.
I think it was,
right?
yeah. Repeat if that would.
They haven't won a trophy that counts since 1955. I mean, unless you count the Fairs Cup, which no one does.
I think they beat Ferencváros in the final as well. Or was it Újpest? One or two.
Yeah. Újpest, yeah. So anyway, there'll be plenty of Newcastle fans, lots of Reds, of course. Yeah, good luck, lads.
If you like the show, the way you can support us best is by leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And it really doesn't matter what you say in that review either. You can say you'd rather we talked about Manchester City and Liverpool. Just hit those 5 stars. Many thanks.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.